Welcome to the Den, the Dark Entertainment Network. I am the Gothic Rose, and you can find me live every Wednesday on TikTok at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And be sure to catch up and subscribe on Spotify and YouTube and my new blog, Welcome to the Den podcast, that talks about all things here on the Dark Entertainment Network. So go ahead and sign up. There's a couple of articles right now, but more will be coming your way. And if you have a terrifying tale you'd like to share with me, please email me at welcometothedenpodcast@gmail.com. But let's check in for the Daily Dive in 5 and the Fresh Hell for today, December 17th, 2024. It has been quite the day. Let's start and just take a moment of silence for this tragic event of this latest school shooting in Wisconsin. A second grade girl bravely called 911 at 10:57 a.m. in response to the active shooter situation at the school. Despite the ongoing epidemic of school shootings, no new laws have been enacted to address gun violence since Columbine in 1999. This happened at Abundant Christian Life School in Madison, Wisconsin. It's a shame. And this is where Trump and Vance said that school shootings were just a part of life and we had to accept it. Yet here they are, along with every other politician and CEO, condemning what happened to Brian Thompson. And I don't condone any of it, but I understand an angry person at a wealthy billionaire over an angry child and other children who gets their hands on a weapon of mass destruction rather than a pistol. And that was apparently made by a 3D printer, which is completely legal. They're all legal. Maybe it's really time for more sensible gun laws. And the only reason they're thinking about it now is not because of another school shooting, but because of CEO Brian Thompson. Now, speaking of CEOs, here's a very surprising move. TikTok CEO visited Mar-a-Lago to seek help from Donald Trump regarding their case and being banned before January 19th. And Trump did say he would do what he can with the Supreme Court, which will do what he wants, we know. But this also, to me, raises questions about government control and corporate influence over apps that are supposed to give us freedom of speech, which is why I speak more on Spotify and YouTube. Now, in political news, of course, there is a pollster being scapegoated, and this is because she predicted Kamala Harris's win, and now Trump is kind of getting wind of his Executive Order 13770, which could actually disqualify him from the presidency, but we will get more into that on another episode. Now, this is what's very funny. Alex Bruesewitz, he passed out on stage while speaking, and this is after him making fun of Nancy Pelosi for falling and breaking her hip. So there's a little bit of karma there, but Nancy Pelosi was the one that really made sure that Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez was not confirmed in her new position with the Democrats, but Hakeem Jeffries thankfully has won re-election because he is of sound mind and body, just like AOC. But Nancy Pelosi, who has been, I think, retired, is still doing official things and still has her hand in the Democratic Party. And the problem, I think, is the fact that these boomers don't let go of anything, and they've never really stepped aside to let anyone younger come in, and they fight the younger ones too, because whether they're Republicans or Democrats, they still have pretty much the same mindset, in my opinion. Now, in a very bizarre series of events, these drones continue to mystify residents of New York and New Jersey, and a large rock has appeared on a beach in New Jersey, adding to the intrigue, and some of the local residents are saying it has to do with the drones, while others are suggesting these drones are hobbyists, which makes sense because, people get together on these online forums and maybe they knew about the WebBot prediction and wanted to set these drones out into the skies at the same time just to cause some sort of havoc. It's a good theory. Let me know what you think in the comments. But of course, Republican Maryland Governor Larry Hogan mistakenly identified the constellation Orion as a drone. And this, my friends, is why a well-rounded education is very important. But the NYPD recovered a drone at the Brooklyn Navy Yard. And Bernie Sanders weighed in on the situation, and he kind of smirked at the end of his interview. Did that mean he knew it was us, wasn't us, is human, isn't human? I hate when they do these things and just leave us hanging. But we also have leaked audio, and this was from TMZ. Wright-Patterson Air Force Base suggests that a drone or UAP shut down the base. And if you go to TMZ, you can hear that audio. It's incredibly interesting. And let's end this with some absolutely hilarious news. There's a CEO who did not give Christmas bonuses to his staff, but he showed up to work in a brand new Lamborghini. In response, these workers did some things, ate some food, maybe some laxatives, something, and went to the parking garage. And they gave the attendant some money to go take a little break. And they just let it go on his car. Yes, they did a bunch of number twos all over that car. Totally defecated it, messed it up. And the CEO walks into the garage and smells the smell and realizes it's his car. So, of course, he fires the whole staff, and then he puts an ad out in the newspaper to fill all these positions, and he gets all of these women who applied to these positions, and he gets them all set up with their new jobs, and they all come in, but they are the New York City Saboteurs. And they are a group of incredibly smart, incredibly beautiful women that show up to positions that have been vacated by employees that do not and are not treated, let's say, well by their company. So they go in and they just do yoga all day in the conference room, in the cubicles. And when the CEO comes out and asks them what they're doing, they simply say, "But I'm not trained for that," and continue to do yoga. And the CEO said, "Well, I sent you an email." "Well, I don't know how to open up my work email. I haven't been trained in that." So you can't get anything done when people aren't trained correctly. And he fired all the people that could have trained them, rehired thinking he had it made, and can't sell a Lamborghini. And this is why people need to start treating the wealthy and the greedy accordingly. And with that, I thank you for joining me on this daily dive in 5. I will see you on the next episode in the den.